All right, well, let's meet some Montrealians.
Let's do it.
Okay, who here? Let's see. You guys are so nice and polite and quiet. That's so nice. If this was Chicago and I said, let's meet some people, there'd just be, ah! And then like, so who here has a birthday in October? And like 3 people would run up on stage that didn't hear that and just start confessing to us about like their pornography.
And somebody would get punched.
So thank you in advance for that. But then when you get up here, don't be as nice because that won't be entertaining. Like, have flaws and express them. Who here? Let's see. Who here
is an American? No.
Let's bring up. Well, let's just bring up somebody that's having a hard time of it, like for some reason in particular. You know, it's having a pretty bad day that made it here in spite of it. Okay, we got Seth Rogen right in the middle here.
Quebecois Seth Rogen, everybody. Let's hear it for him. Yeah.
What's your name, sir?
JP.
JP. All right. Well, why don't you have a seat on one of those stools?
Hey, Dustin, whoever's back there, can you leave my iPad hot so I can play music from time to time? It keeps going back down. Sure. Thank you. What's your name, sir?
JP.
Hey, JP. Does this stand for Jean-Paul?
Jean-Philippe.
Jean-Philippe? Jean-Philippe?
Yes.
All right.
Wow, that's sexy. You're like an undersea explorer. So.
Bienvenue.
Merci.
Are you a Montreal native?
I was born in Montreal, but I'm from...
Use your mic.
I'm born in Montreal, but I'm from Ottawa.
Ottawa. Oh, my favorite province. Ottawa's lovely. I was there for a couple of days, had a lovely time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jean-Philippe, would you like a cocktail with a bunch of touched ice?
Sure.
Okay.
Thanks.
I have vodka and touched ice.
There's no cups, huh? Oh, there is one.
It's kind of just crushed. It's not cubed, so it's.
So you transited in from Ottawa to be here for the festival?
Yes, just for the show.
Yeah, just for us?
Yeah.
Wow. That's are we living up to your standards?
Of course.
And here you are on stage. Fantastic.
Yes.
What's going on that has made you blue, JP?
In March, my girlfriend passed away.
Oh, here you go. For those of you listening in audio, they laughed because I handed him a drink.
He didn't give him a hug.
It's going to be the weirdest reaction.
Yeah, it should have been.
My girlfriend passed away. Oh. I'm so. How long ago did this happen?
Vodka's like a hug.
Yes.
How long ago? I'm sorry, I didn't get.
In March.
Okay.
May we ask what cause?
Pulmonary embolism caused by amniotic fluid.
Oh Jesus! So it was no warning at all. Like it was.
She was pregnant.
Oh.
All right. Good night, folks. And
Just for Tears Festival. Holy smoke!
Yeah.
How old was she?
32.
And so that just came out of
nowhere.
So you're as put together about this and able to share this without a crack in the veneer because it's absolutely necessary. You had to deal with it, and you're a brick wall right now.
Try my best.
No. And so, what happens after that happens? Like in terms of like, do you keep to yourself? Everyone's like flooding you with emails and phone calls and things. Do you want to be alone?
It's more or less. I think what happens is that immediately afterwards you get like sort of. It's like a tsunami. It just hits you. You have like no repair. Like you have no idea what's going on. You're constantly surrounded by people, and then after one point, like everybody's gone. Like you have your family, you have your close friends, but then you sort of realize sort of the extent of the damage.
Meaning that you say the tsunami is referring to a bunch of people flooding you with condolences and
the condolences and also the fact like she passed away, like it comes out of nowhere, like it sort of just hits you.
So and it's probably, I would imagine it's probably timed right so that just when you might actually need some like sympathy, it's probably timed just after everyone is kind of like, okay, I did my part.
Yeah, pretty much. That's pretty much.
And so you awaken to this tragedy after your body has protected you through numbness and stuff, and you regain sensitivity, and then you're largely alone. And as you said, you're surveying the damage. Like, what is? Give us a detail, not about the event. I think it's too too ghoulish to, but about the loss, about afterward, like I don't know, paperwork, or like what is, when you're married and then you lose your partner, like what is the worst non-emotional inconvenience?
I think pretty much the paperwork is, you have so much paperwork to fill up. It's amazing. The insurance, for the hospital and everything you have to deal with. It's like, it's a non-stop barrage of paperwork. And I snap a few times at people on the phone when I have to fill it up, and they're like, "Oh yeah, the doctor needs to fill that stuff," and I just call them up and like, "Motherfucker, like just leave me be for just 5 minutes alone." And
I was just about to ask that before you said it. Like, you must several times a day or a week, like you must just explode into a righteous outrage because you're talking to someone that's just like, "Oh, you have to fill out a Z-9-2," and like they're not even. You have to remind them why this is happening and what's going on.
Oh yeah. I've like a few times you have to call, like, for example, like, I don't know, like her phone company, and tell them like we have to cancel her contract, and they're like, "Oh, what's the reason?" It's like, "Well, she passed away," and like you just hear their enthusiasm just drop. Sort of like in the room when I announced what happened, like the same thing, like. Well, and I sort of feel bad that like you invited some person. "Oh, here's not feeling well."
Enthusiasm dropping is a negative way of putting it. I think it's them like opening up to, they're like, "Oh, I need to be on alert. I'm not going to trample all around this. I'm going to like be careful now." And like.
How long did you know her?
10 years.
And you were married for how long?
Oh, we were not married.
Oh, you were. Oh, sorry.
No, it was like a common law couple.
Pardon?
Common law.
Wow.
Did you have any, do you have any moments when you do one of those snaps where you like shut somebody down or just like go into a Sam Jackson monologue? Do you have any memories of any like choice zingers that you like you just dropped a bomb on somebody on the phone?
Yeah, it happened a few times. Yes.
Do you remember like your favorite one? That's yours.
It's mostly like people when they talk about it. I'm trying to recall, but it's such a blur right now. But it's mostly like.
How long ago did you say it happened? I'm sorry.
March 7th.
Wow. It's like what like are you just numb? Do you walk around in kind of a daze, or have you kind of has sense come back to you at all?
More or less, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, like today I was just walking around for a few hours before the show, and like you do feel like sometimes you snap out, and you just relive the moment again and again and again.
Do you have like a friend or a family member, or do you have like any circle of people that are like there's been like someone to totally rely on? And
oh yes.
Oh good, that's awesome.
Yeah, no. For the first month, my best friend lived with me, so he was very kind, and I thanked him for doing that, and I thanked his wife to allow him to spend some time with me, and she was like super happy.
You can have him.
Oh yeah, she was like, "Oh, you can keep it from as long as you want." I was like, "Are you sure?"
I'm getting so much shit done at the house right now. It's amazing.
Exactly, that's what she kept saying. Like, I get stuff done finally because he's the fuck out of the house.
Wow. Well,
how many people this year, or within a year or so, how many people out here have lost a loved one? There was like a big pause.
You made people clap for that, by the way.
Well, that's
Let's hear it, everybody! Put those hands together for lost loved ones.
Well, they came to a comedy show. They're probably looking forward to a little levity. That was less applause than I thought I'd hear. Like so it must be like lonely, like not even in the sense that you lost a loved one, but it's a lonely experience. Like
yes.
There's not a bunch of people around you that understand what's happening to you.
And there was no time to even like prepare yourself for it. It just happened.
No,
so
exactly.
It's just the rug's completely pulled out from under you.
Exactly.
Yeah, like I mean, my mother passed away, and like we knew, it was a process, and you emotionally, kind of get ready for that. But I can't imagine if just somebody went poof like that. It's horrifying.
What's a thing that you put yourself into what's something that makes you really happy that you indulge in that kind of helps you stay it takes your mind off of things? Like what's something that's just a habit or an indulgence?
Spending time with friends. That's mostly it.
Just spending time? Is that what you said?
Spending time with friends, yes.
What do you do when you spend time with them? Just chat?
Just chat and talk about stories. About her name was Marie, so just talk about Marie and like stories and share funny stories.
Oh, so you're not taking your mind off it with anything?
Well,
particular?
more or less. Yeah, we're not spending 24 hours just talking about her constantly. We're just like chatting about different things. But
is there any? So at this point, it's become like kind of it's all about remembering and stuff. So you don't play Minecraft.
No, but,
I knew you were hoping he was going to say Minecraft.
no, but my nephew, he's a big player.
Okay. Does he play with mod packs?
Yes, he just recently started playing with mod packs.
Feed the Beast mod packs?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, if you
Is he here tonight? Is he in the audience?
No, he's not here, right?
Oh.
No, he's not here.
Okay. Because I have
I
found a bug. I found a bug in the Feed the Beast
Really?
Unstable mod pack. If you take an iron bucket up to an Ender IO,
This is how Dan deals with grief, everybody.
just pass this on to
Turns
your
everything
nephew.
into a Minecraft conversation. Dan, it's okay to cry.
Well, I'm not. Yeah. I mean, I have no idea how I'll deal with death. I mean, it's terrifying.
Me neither.
I'm really actually. I'm in denial about my denial of death. Like it hasn't been put to the test at all yet. And now I feel like there's no wood to knock on and all this stuff, and I just I can't even. I've been so lucky and so like untouched by that side of reality, and I just can't. I'm gonna show the world the new definition of pussy when anything bad happens to me. Like I'm gonna be up on my roof wailing at the moon for 6 years.
I felt like doing that sometimes.
Is there a way to do that? Do you have a therapist?
Yes.
Are they good?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. No. I am actually seeing two. Just to help.
Two of them?
Yes.
Did they both know? It's like,
Yes.
That's good. That's good. Keep them on their toes. I like that. I always start my therapy sessions by I take them through all the previous therapists and like how I fired them, like what I did. One of them I caught one of them crying and they lied about it. Like their eyes were watering and I said, why are you crying? And they said, because it's such an emotional story. I said, no, it's not. And because it wasn't. And then like 20 minutes later, the therapist said, I'm sorry, I feel really bad. I had eye surgery recently, cosmetic eye surgery, like an eye tuck. So my eyes are watering. So my instinct was to lie about it. Okay, good session. So go out there and be a good person then? Take 2 of these, call you in the morning?
They're supposed to pay you at that point for that breakthrough.
Yeah. So I just never went back. Anyways, but yeah, and I always tell that story to my new therapist, and I'm like laying down the law. I'm like, you better fix my head, and you better be good.
Yeah.
I'm like Saw, like when he has that doctor come in and give him craniectomy because he's got like some kind of thing, and he's like, I'm like Saw. Okay. There's like 9 Saw movies.
Now, can I ask you just a crass question? Like, is that state like healthcare stuff? Like, you get that as a Canadian? You get therapy on like as part of your
No,
healthcare?
it's through my employer.
Oh, okay.
All right, so now you stay here, Jean-Philippe.
Okay.
And now, who's having like a fantastic? We'll go for gender balance. I see a young lady raising
you back
her
there.
hand.
Let's get a woman up here. What's your name, ma'am?
Shana.
Mademoiselle Shana, everybody. Let's welcome Shana up here.
All right. He's moving down a stool, just like you instinctively applied Carson rules to the like proximity to me is like the important thing. And
He just moved over like Ed McMahon. That was amazing. Shana, you're looking very smart and vintagey. I like your outfit there.
Thank you. Oh,
Where are you
thank
from, Shana?
I'm from Texas.
No shit.
Yep.
What part of Texas?
West Texas, the dirt, brown, shitty part of Texas.
West Texas?
Yeah.
Like the city of West Texas, or
No,
or
Lubbock.
Western Lubbock?
Yeah.
Wow.
We have Buddy Holly and football.
you know, the typewriter was invented in Texas.
Was it?
Yes.
That's exciting.
And the president of Texas is a lady. Did you know that?
If only.
And it's the shape of a boot.
Yes. That sounds right.
Okay, so why are you so happy? Don't you know this guy's wife died?
I'm very sorry.
What's your fucking problem, lady?
I'm a sociopath. That's why I'm happy. No, so I'm actually here with my boyfriend. It's between our birthdays, so this was our birthday present.
You guys, how close are your birthdays?
His is on the 13th of July, and mine's on the 4th of August.
Okay, so you guys have agreed to, because your birthdays are relatively close, you've merged them into a bi-birthday?
No. It was just that I wanted to come here for my birthday, and he wanted to be here for his birthday, so here we are.
My show specifically, right?
Yes.
That was a lie.
No.
Okay.
No, it wasn't.
I'm defensive.
I know.
Okay.
I listened to your show. I'm aware.
I just...
I'm sorry.
Don't apologize, Shana. Don't apologize.
Yeah, there's no apology necessary. You're not Canadian. You're a Texan. Tell me you'll leave if I don't give you enough money.
See, I have a custom story.
Okay.
So I met a man on World of Warcraft. And
Wait, I'm sorry. You met a man on World of Warcraft?
I did, yes.
Does your boyfriend know about this man?
Yeah, he's aware.
Okay.
Okay, this was a long time ago. This was around 8 years ago, something like that.
Okay.
So he's French-Canadian, and we decided to elope. But when I came through customs, they thought I was a mail-order bride. Because my ex-husband is much older than me. And so they just put us through the ringer. Every time I went through customs, like I get pulled aside with the immigrants for 3 hours and I have to wait. They take me into a room and they grill me. This is Canadian customs, by the way. This isn't U.S. customs.
So they thought you were marrying a Canadian to become a Canadian?
I think so, yeah.
Who does that? I don't.
It's going to happen a lot in November.
Yeah, a lot of people will be doing that.
Yeah,
but, I mean, is that even necessary? I thought that was like.
It seems that there's a black market. You pay about $300,000 for the healthcare card. Because when you immigrate,
Oh,
here,
the healthcare thing. Of course. So there are people like trying to come up here and get like pharmaceuticals and stuff.
Well, you'll have people that have cancer, and cancer is so expensive to treat in the U.S. that you come to Canada and it's much more manageable. And all you have to do is marry some schmuck and.
Right.
Pay.
What a mind fuck that is. Like oh, there's cancer. Like cancer's so expensive. What a fucking mind. What the fuck? Is there? Did we kill God? What is wrong with us? Cancer's so expensive in America. It's like the worst place to get cancer. What the fuck is wrong with us?
It's the easiest place and the worst place.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's probably Wi-Fi, right? Wi-Fi's giving it to all of us.
I blame the Wi-Fi, yeah. So it's that time we crossed with customs, it took us 7 days and 3 attempts to get across the border to Canada.
Wait, so there are 3 attempts. So what is a failed attempt like? They go like, you don't love him. You just want a Band-Aid. And then they just get out of here, and you just go, and then you try to come back in. And...
They turn you around. There's like a mile between the 2 customs. They turn you around, and you have to go back through U.S. customs and explain why you were turned around at the Canadian border. And that's really awkward, because when you come back through, they're like, what the fuck are you doing here? And then you're like, oh, well, they turned us around. And they're like, really?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, what do they know that we don't know? Yeah. If they don't like you, why should we like you?
And the second time, it's always the same customs we tried. So the second time we came back over, they were like, oh, it's you again, huh? And they were like, don't worry, Canadian customs is really shitty, but you're okay with us. You're always welcome back into the United States. And yeah, I know. It's really weird. It's always been Canadian customs. It's been a problem for me. I don't know.
Shana, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Are you a drug mule?
No.
No? Okay.
No.
Are you holding?
No. But you're in Montreal. You can find something if you want.
I want to talk about how do you fall in love with somebody over a World of
So we used to raid together a lot. World of Warcraft by nature is time-consuming. And it's also very social. So you spend a lot of time talking to people, and you work together in raids, and you defeat bosses, and that's very kind of dumbing down what WoW is. But so I would spend probably 8-9 hours a night with this guy and my guilds doing raids, and you just get to know a person over that time. And we started talking on MSN Messenger. This was a long time ago.
And you're like, Leroy Jenkins, I love you.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Was it Leroy
I would
Jenkins?
like to be Mrs. Leroy Jenkins. Will you make me the happiest?
At least I'll have chicken. But so we met over there, we got to know each other, and then eventually we decided to do the intelligent thing by eloping, and then it turned out that was a bad idea.
How long did that marriage last?
Almost 5 years.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Divorce is a good thing. Like I've changed my position on this recently, and it doesn't have anything to do with like Aaron and I with a great tragically short marriage, but the not speaking about the marriage and the quality of it, or especially the quality of my partner at all. Like putting all of that aside, the idea of divorce, it's like it really like shocks your system into letting go of a bunch of shit you didn't know you were like. I always just had all these presuppositions I didn't even know I had about how you're supposed to live the second half of a full life. Like, oh, I'm supposed to do this, I'm supposed to do that. And it's not that I'm not necessarily going to do those things now. I may get married and have kids or something like that. But now I live in this world where I'm like, oh, none of that is like a carryover from my Midwestern upbringing. Like, there's not any like tapes that I'm playing in my head that I'm like following the soundtrack of. And so I have to imagine, like, I think divorce, like, psychologically is as beneficial as, like, coming out of the closet must be for somebody who, like, comes out. Like, because it's like, okay, I'm not going to care as much about spilling a drink at dinner anymore. I'm not going to, like, freak out because, like, I had to tell my parents I'm gay. Or I had to I had to tell everyone I invited to my wedding that thanks for coming and, like, witnessing us. And, like, well, we talked about how in love we were and stuff. And we were just kidding. Like, and then they go, that's all right. It was a fun party. Thanks for inviting me. I like wearing my suit. And then you wake up the next day and you're not dead. And you're like, holy shit, I can do like all kind. What's my favorite color? I don't know. Maybe I should have one. I refuse to have a favorite color. It's so fucking dumb. You know that. You're a fan of the show. Jean-Philippe. What is your reaction to happy people when you're in this time of grief? Like, do you secretly like wish that they, you know, is there resentment? Is there?
Well, there was some resentment, especially towards my friend, because their lives sort of continue on while mine has stopped. But at one point, you have to accept that that's how life is that mine has temporarily stopped, that other people are allowed to have fun, other people are allowed to enjoy themselves, and eventually I will.
That is a double therapist talking. This guy's got it with both barrels. You're like Cyber Christ.
Yeah, I mean,
no, Cyber Christ was evil. That's Lawnmower
I'd
Man.
like after the show, if you're hanging around, like I'd love just to have a drink and just chat with you about. Like,
well, for sure, you probably won't be able to buy your own drinks after this at the bar.
I'm good with that.
Everybody buy this guy. We're gonna get you so fucked up.
Whenever they open the bar, I don't know what's like.
They're not gonna let you back into Ottawa. You're like, nope, you're staying in Montreal.
I got no problem with that.
Are you going to other shows while you're here?
Nope, that's the only one.
Really? Yep. I feel so like that's
pressured and embarrassed. Yes, I know. That's terrible. I came here to I should have had a letter, and I should have had an act. I should have had material.